Democrats. What do you think are some areas that could be parts that both parties could agree with, common ground on gun safety?
Well, I would hope that when you look at what's happened with mass shootings in the last years, that we at a minimum establish the principle that if you're going to own a military type weapon, that should be locked away in a gun club and not carried in public. You know, that is completely consistent with the Second Amendment, and it's a principle that we should apply nationally.
Is that something you think should be brought back? The assault weapons ban that was in place in the past?
Yeah, I would support it, but you know, given the real politics of the situation, if we get at least the principle that assault weapons are things that belong locked away in gun clubs, if someone owns one at all, that would solve most of the problems that we're facing with mass killings in this country.
But do you think what your idea about the assault weapons ban is putting them away in gun clubs, is that against the Second Amendment, do you think? No,
absolutely not. A well-regulated militia is completely consistent with having military-style arms put under lock and key in a regulated environment.
It is so sad that, you know, that every time we have a tragedy, a mass shooting, this just being the latest, when the American people asks the Congress to do something, the leadership in the Congress, even though there is, I think, bipartisan support, certainly among the Democrats and a significant number of Republicans, to do something about gun safety, the leadership, which is under the control of, or at least tremendously under the control of the NRA, and people think it's the individual members of the NRA that are driving this. It is not the individual members. The individual members of the NRA know we need gun safety. It is the gun manufacturers who are paying the freight and who do not want limitations placed upon the manufacturing of assault weapons and silencers. That's who's driving this debate. That's who is telling the American public, be damned, we're going to sell these weapons of mass destruction.
Is the assault weapons ban that expired, does that need to be brought back, do you think?
Absolutely. We should not be selling guns of mass destruction like that. Those are not guns that are used for people to defend themselves in their homes. Those are guns that are just used to kill hundreds, if not, as what we saw, injure hundreds of people, and they're not really used for self-defense. They're offensive weapons. That's what they were designed to be, and they know. Plus, we don't have a system of really complete background checks. We allow people to fly, you know, who are able to buy a gun, but they can't fly because of having other kinds of suspected being terrorists. We have the weakest laws to protect Americans. It has to end. This is really the American gun manufacturers who are leading this, not the individuals even who are members of the NRA.